Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Well, if your New Year's resolution was focused on fitness, you might be thinking about joining a gym, and we have some tips for you. Simone, president of the Better Business Bureau, is joining us now with what you need to know before purchasing a gym membership. A lot of people complain about gym memberships and all of the fine print. What do you want people to know?
Really, we want people to think before they sign. I mean, there's lots of great opportunity to get out there right now and find a gym that's going to meet your needs. If you aren't taking the time to read the contract, you might enter into a contract where you are bound for a period of 2 years and pay for something that you're not using. So at this time of the year, when you're making your New Year's resolution to get fit, just take some time to really understand what you're entering into and make sure it's right for you.
All right. So I know you have about 5 different tips here. Hopefully we can get through most of them. You kind of mentioned the first one already, and that was to make sure about any limited free trials, what you're on the hook for. Is it just month to month? Is it for a year? Is it 2 years? And then also what happens if you want to cancel?
Exactly. Sometimes with cancellation clauses, there may be terms like you need to give them a proper amount of notice, or you need to make sure you put it in writing. So again, by reading your contract and understanding what happens when you decide you want to cancel, you're setting yourself up for success. Another thing that we would really highly recommend at this time of the year is, as you're exploring different gyms, go out and take a tour of that gym. Make sure that you go at a time when you would use that facility and check it out. See if the machines are in good care, if the staff is helpful, if the machines are even available for you. Because, again, once you're in that contract, you want to make sure that the service is going to meet your needs.
All right. And there are a lot of times where you end up in the gym and you're looking around and you get offered some great deals, or, you have some promises made. How important is it to get those promises in writing?
It's really important because, the bottom line is that contract is an agreement between you and this business. And so if someone says something that is extremely important to you, but it's not in that contract, and you think that that's a material piece of the agreement that you have, your protection is relatively limited. So best to make sure that anything that is important to you is documented appropriately, in case something changes as well. So for example, maybe there's a class that's really important and that's not in your contract, and then you find out after the fact that there's additional fees for that class. By putting it in that agreement, you're very clear about what your protection is, you're very clear about what your coverage is.
All right. And I guess, one of your other tips is don't feel pressured. Sometimes, there are tactics used. You need to sign within a certain amount of time in order to get this deal. What would you say in response to that?
I'd say that a great gym is always going to provide you a great deal. So if you need time to think something through, take that time. Really explore what your options are. Really go and look around your community and make sure that this is the right decision for you. Ultimately, that gym wants you to be a great customer of theirs, and you want to be able to use the services you're getting. So if you're feeling pressure, just walk away and then explore other facilities.
All right. And, just lastly, is kind of summarizing all of these, what would you say is the most common complaint you hear about gym contracts?
I think the most common complaint is that people aren't clear about their cancellation rights, and they're not clear that they've entered into agreement, and then they have difficulty canceling. So I think that's why it becomes really important that you understand who you're dealing with, you deal with a company that you can trust, and that you really take the time to read over the agreement that you're about to enter into.
All right. Some great information there from Simone with the Better Business Bureau. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.